Right. Like this hand. This is a problem with playing Golos, guys. A lot of people don't like it. So just keep this in mind. In today's video, you're going to see a budget brew for Golos Tireless Pilgrim. So this guy is definitely in the upper echelons, Hal Q, you could say. And somebody in my comments wanted to see a budget brew. Now I was going to do budget brews of this guy anyway, I suppose, at some point. So let's see what I've included. So the definition of budget these days is a little bit blurry. I think because people have been playing a longer time, they're probably a bit more comfortable having more rares than usual. So there are 12 rare lands that I would highly recommend in this deck, and that's the Triomes, the World Tree, and the Ancient Tomb. Now, if you don't want to do the Triomes, that's an understandable a number that you don't necessarily have to craft. If you don't want to put these Triomes in, which I think are really good to activate this ability, I would take them out and put just like some uncommon dual lands. If you're that desperate, then the land base is the thing that I would suggest budging. So that already gets rid of 12, and then we have 18 other rares that I would recommend. I did try having fewer, but it just made his ultimate ability just a bit worse. Look at the top three of them, play them. So we've got, I wanted to have a little bit of a theme. So we have the 6 ultimatums in here: Cruel, Ruinous, Genesis, Eerie, Inspired, Emergent, which any of them are pretty awesome by themselves. The Emergent ultimatum is, of course, just ludicrous. Probably not that intense in our deck because we don't have any infinite combos on purpose. I didn't really want to do infinite combos. I just find them a bit boring. But of course, you can put your own in. And I think that, all these are just kind of cool thematically. Cruel Ultimatum is a bit of an odd one because it's just one that isn't part of the original cycle, but they put in Jinga Taxis as well as a win con because it can copy your spells. Really nice. Then we've got the 7-mana Ugin. Death Begets Life because it's a kind of interesting board wipe, gives you cards back when you blow stuff up. Portal to Phyrexia and Summon. So these are your win cons. The rest of the deck is just a ridiculous amount of ramp, including all the talismans, because why not? And they're colorless, and it synergizes really well with Eye of Ugin, Eye of the Storms. Loads and loads of green ramp spells that you've already seen before. And I'm trying to keep the rares low. So everything in 2, 3, and 4, none of these cards are rare whatsoever. So you've got to keep that in mind. The Ashrok's in here because there's a lot of fetch land seekers in Halq. And actually, a hell of a lot of the rares are actually tied up in the 1-mana slot as well, just because it's powerful things like Birds of Paradise, Delighted Halfling, we've got Ragavan, Thoughtseize, and we have a few flicker effects like Essence, Flux, the Ephemerate, and Cloud Shift. These are all very useful to flicker Golos, which not only protects them, but gives you +1 mana. So yeah, I hope this works pretty well. Obviously, it is a fair amount, totaling 30 rares, but as I said, if you take out all the lands that I've said, then you're only at 18 rares, and I think if you haven't got 18 rares, then you might not have used your resources very well, because a lot of these are staples that most people are going to have these days. So hopefully most of you can make this. Now, I don't know what kind of crazy people want to play Golos in budget, because I guess the queue you're going to be playing is going to be really just the most intense decks. But, here you go. It was requested, and I have done it for you. So hopefully you enjoy it. You know who you are, Mr. Commenter. But yeah, if anyone else has any interesting or wacky ideas they want to see, just drop me a comment below. I do try and engage with you all and see what you all fancy. But yeah, this rounds out my budget decks to 10 now, which is a nice number of the Hell Queue. So obviously that was the goal, budget Hell Queue. But yeah, we'll see how we go from then. And we've done 10. It's a bit like Tarantino. Done 10, now what? All the popular ones have pretty much been done. So if you want to support me, like, subscribe. If you want to donate, check out my Patreon. And there's a lot of cool perks in there. So yeah, let's get into the gameplay. Oh, this is juicy. A Golos Mirror. Let's see how this goes. I think Golos Mirrors is like the literal most fair matchup you can potentially get. Because it's 2 of the same bullshit decks. Now they... I don't know what they're going to have in their deck. They've got Eldrazi Sleeve, so who knows. Islands your opponent controls. Okay. Sure. Let's go for Farseek. And let's get a non-island card. With each of your main phases, if you haven't added mana with this ability, you add X. Well, X is the number of islands. Okay. That's very specific. Whoa. Strip mine. Okay. Calm down, mate. Calm your little self. They're just going to strip mine at the behest of themselves. I mean, they only have 1 land themselves, so. I mean, that's what you get when you fucking guzzle down sweets, isn't it, really? You deserve that. Really. Okay, a good challenge comes our way to Tatiova. It's a game of attrition. Both of us are going to ramp like mad. They benefit from landfall. We benefit in a different way, I guess. So we're looking for white, I think. And we've got a lot of basics, but it's kind of good because we've also got a lot of cards that search basics. So that's the one upside of us having so few rare lands. You know, they're gonna kill this. Well, that's annoying. That's the one downside of that particular ramp spell. Yeah, it does slow us down quite a bit. We're going to have another counter. The crazy part with some people's decks is they have a game plan, yeah? They want to do the thing. But I think what weakens a lot of people's game plans is they put in so many counters because they're terrified of what the opponent might do. Because they're so concerned about what they want to do. But I think that's a mistake. If you don't have removal... Sorry, if you have too much removal, you are kind of like not getting to do what you want to do yourself. So we're very lucky we have the Delighted Halfling because it means that our Golos is now uncounterable. I guess the only issue with having one of the ultimatums in our hand is we don't really want it in our hand. Because we want it on top of the deck, but we'll see what we're going to go for here. We're going to mana drain it, which gets the 5 mana, but they don't actually counter the Golos itself. Which is still terrifying because it means they have, 5 mana to just mess around with. They have 2 cards in their hand. So how scary could this be? I don't really know. Did they know that it was not going to counter it? Not really sure about that myself, but the Seiju, which ironically gives us a land, which means we can just replay him again anyway. And eventually the Eerie Ultimatum can just revive everything from our graveyard, but okay, let's see how this goes then. Okay, so we can just freely play things, which is nice. Let's try and get out some more of these triomes. I guess the only issue with having a mostly basics mana base is, yeah, I will admit the ability is very difficult to pull off, but we have a lot of mana. We just need to get one good ultimatum or something crazy on the top, and maybe we'll be able to pull it back. So, as per usual, they are just ramping and drawing cards and getting life. It's pretty... I think it's more demoralizing than Golos, because at least with Golos we get to just wheel 3 things and we're kind of done. But the thing with Tatiova decks is they just keep going on and on and on, and ramp, draw, ramp, draw, ramp, draw, ramp, draw. And then they're kind of very similar in a way, although I think Tatiova is actually weirdly maybe a bit stronger, because they ramp so hard and they draw so many cards that eventually they can just play everything from their hand naturally. Whereas we are still relying on Golos and the roulette of the top cards. So, well, let's see what we can do. Maybe they're going to counter the ability, which would be very, very annoying. But, and of course, as anticipated. Right. Well, Elspeth's Nightmare might be useful to get something out of the hand. Is it just going to be counters? Jeez. Yeah, it's one of those annoying versions of Tatiova where they're just, again, focusing on, that's 3 counters they've used now. Whereas our deck doesn't really care too much about that, but how long can they keep this up? Who knows? This is why Tatiova is so strong. Playing a land likely draws them another land, and if it doesn't, it draws them something they can play. And either one of those options is bad for us, because they just basically wasted our entire turn there. I suppose the only upside is late game. The ultimatum could be good if they wipe out more of our things, but yeah, It's pretty frustrating that they happen to have one of the counter spells that actually hits our activated abilities. The chances of them having that in their hand, is lower than them having a regular counter spell, that's for sure. And now they've got a way to just continuously draw multiple cards every single turn with the Primeval Titan. And if they play the Ancient Green Warden, every land trigger is now going to be doubled. Search for 2 creatures, put them in your hand. Well, that's pretty terrifying. Because now that means they can probably win next turn. Well, yeah, definitely. If there's a Crater Hoof. God damn it. Yeah, and people think Golos is bad. God damn it. So we need to get something just very good here. Now are we going to get any of that? I mean, it's okay. But they're all going to have haste. We're likely dead next turn anyway, so we might as well just swing in. Okay. Yeah, I'll pass to them. So next turn we can blow up something else, but I don't think it's going to matter. How much mana they got? 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, well, this is the thing about Crater Hoof, isn't it? It's likely just gonna always win. It's very difficult to stop unless you have a counter spell or something. The fact it gives everything... Well, it doesn't give everything haste, does it? But it's the power boost, that's the thing that's concerning me the most. Creatures get trample. So they're all going to get +7. +8. 4, 5, 6. Jeez, that is a ridiculous amount of landfall. Well, yeah, we're definitely dead now, aren't we? I mean, I actually always forget about this Shared Summons card. It's kind of like Wizards of the Coast is like, yeah, let's just let people win in with 1 card. Search for 2 things and a Time Warp. Yeah, okay, cool. I get it, mate. You could have just played the Crater Hoof. You didn't need to do that. Oh my goodness. Right, let's see if we can take it in Atali. We've got a really good end game kill spell, but it'll probably be too late by then. Let's see. The scary part is it will be able to play our spells as well, and we have some powerful things on top. Cycle that's too slow at the minute. We need to accelerate this by getting the things. Okay, Ephemerate can be nice once we have the Golos out to get more lands, but Ephemerate is much better on their Atali. We got Cloud Shift as well. We can do double flicker. Delighted Halfling. Why did they leave the mana up like that? I don't know. Blue and black, please. So yeah, once we've got a good array of colours, should be fine. I think the issue here is, because we have all the ultimatums, they're very mana intensive, like triple. Each of them is triple 1 colour, 2 and 2 of other colours, right? So... World Weave. Ugh, that's annoying. I don't think we want to play Golos out without any protection. So yeah, let's just ramp even more here. Right, nice. So we get into a point where we can just get Golos out and then flicker. Itali. Oh, that's going to be tough work. Utopia Sprawl, okay. Do they not have a natural land? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any creature gives them a land as well. This World Weave is nuts. But we also have Death Begets Life, which kills all creatures and enchantments. Maybe we just wait for this, you know? Somberwald Sage. Like, if we top deck a land next time, I think we just do this, because it gets rid of that as well. Oh, that's irritating. We'll do it on the turn after, I suppose. Yeah, it's a real shame we can't do that immediately, but... And I want to leave the white mana up. And by playing, if you play this, we don't get to use either of these, so... We are going to have to prepare for some craziness. Then return it to the battlefield. Annoyingly, we won't be able to... Oh, actually, if we ephemerate, and then it gets rebound again in our next turn, and the death begets life, kills everything, and then Golos survives. So that could be kind of cool. I really want this to pay off. Okay, so here comes the Atali. They get another land. This card is broken. Lots of basics. And please don't get anything crazy from us. Okay, just more lands. Which is in itself kind of annoying because it means that they can play Atali again. But I do feel like this Begets Life is going to be nuts. Oh, that's annoying. Because that's not an enchantment or a creature. Bloody hell. Could be grindy, unless they get something awesome from us next time, but... Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess they can already play him a second time. So it's not the end of the world. We know they're going to play him a second time anyway, right? But, you know, it is one of those annoying things where it does make it a lot easier. Let's ephemerate them. Kind of a cool play to set up the next fight. Of course we want to search. Of course. Please. Oh no, it comes back instantly, doesn't it? Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I kept thinking until end of turn, but it's not. It's instantly. It just rebounds. Yeah, no. Obviously, that doesn't save the Golos there. My apologies for people getting screamy. But we still do this anyway. Ultimatum. I mean, I think we clear the field first. Because it gets rid of this as well. And the Utopia Sprawl. It's a pretty damn good hit. Oh, Ugin. That's nuts. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. So I think we just keep ramping. But yeah, worst case scenario obviously is Atali gets something good from our deck. But I don't think there's anything in our deck that actually disrupts our hand. So it should be fine. And look at all these colorless spells we've got as well. I'm scared. Atali is scary. But yeah, this death begets life. Wonderful. Do you know how close that was, guys? Oh, they got the ultimatum that kills all our things, but we haven't got anything. Oh, that's actually nuts. Why did they quit, though? Like, the only... Like, that's such a weird quit. It's almost like they could see our hand, but they couldn't. I would have just crewed the Lumbering World Wagon, swung in for 10, would be at 12. They don't know what we had. What a weird concession there. Like, yeah, we did have a full grip. Golos was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we could have done that one. Yeah, I guess, yeah. We just had enough mana to do it as well. But I still feel like at least smacking for 10 just to see what happens. I think that was definitely a little bit of a quick concession. I don't know what they had in their hand. It could have been a cool thing. And then, yes, I know they didn't have this, but that's what makes the concession even weirder. They should have just waited for me to play something like this and then quit. But, oh well.